What is up guys, it's Jordan here and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video we're going to be doing another mini guide. I haven't done one of these for about 2 weeks, but today we're going to be talking about tips to up your game in Siege. These are going to be general points to help you improve your skills, and some of these tips are going to be things that you may have heard before, but I'm going to be doing my best to explain reasons that you may not have heard of before as to why these tips are useful. So even if I say something you already know, do try and bear with me as I do my best to explain other reasons why it's going to be useful besides ones that are just common. Just quickly before the video, I just want to let you guys know as well that I will be doing a guide every 2 weeks, I'm hoping. So around then you'll be seeing a guide. I don't want to be doing as many as I used to because I don't want to sort of burn them out, because there's only so many things that I can say about tips and tricks on Siege, but I will be trying to do one every 2 weeks for you guys, so do keep an eye out if you do enjoy the guides more than the other content that I put out. So the first tip on how to up your game in Siege is going to be not being careless with your drone, and that's an example of what I said earlier. I know that's a common thing that people think of is about drones, and the common reasons are, you don't want to lose your drone because it's useful for intel, you can scan rooms, very valid reasons, but you've probably heard them all before. But something that I see people do a lot in terms of being careless with their drone is not getting it particularly destroyed, but normally mid-round when you're using your drone to scout out a room, and say for example you move your drone into a room next to the objective room and you see someone camping in the corner. I hate the word camping, but it's applicable here. So you see someone camping in the corner and they're not facing you. You then close your drone down and charge straight into the room. Now sometimes you can get lucky and they'll still be facing the other way and you get a kill, but a lot of the times what happens is the drone does make noise, they hear the drone, you close down the camera, they turn around and see the drone whilst you've closed it down. They then move out of the way so that when you charge into the room, you're facing the wrong corner because they're no longer there. They're in a different corner and they kill you super easily. I'm sorry, I've had to record this so many times. My voice is so bad. I'm so ill and this is so difficult. Now, I see people doing this all the time, and it is a prime example of being careless with your drone, because you kind of get, I get it, right? You get excited when you see someone facing the other way, easy free kill, and you want to charge in there as quickly as possible, but you're making a lot of noise. Your drone's making noise, you're making noise running in there, and it's going to be very easy if the defender is halfway competent that they're going to realize someone's coming for them, they're going to turn around and move. The better thing to do would be, the second you see them, would be to try and sneak your drone into a corner out of the way, so that way even if they do hear the drone and they turn around, they're not going to see it. I mean, there's a lower chance that they're going to react. And then when you close the drone, don't go sprinting into the room unless you're close enough. Like if you're pretty close, you can do a quick sprint and pre-fire or whatever to get the kill. But if you're like down the hallway, it's not worth running down the hallway because you're going to make so much noise and you're going to make yourself such an easy target. They will just pick you off so quickly, it will be ridiculous. And it's the most annoying thing because seeing someone facing the other way or having the drop on someone is like a free kill, and it's so annoying to waste that opportunity by making a bit too much noise or being careless with your drone. And you know what, I'm going to throw this in as a bonus point. If you're someone that leaves your drones in drone holes, never leave your drone in a drone hole, because for 2 reasons. One, you're going to be a pain in the ass to your teammates because they might get their drone stuck behind you. If they're trying to get their drone somewhere, it's going to be annoying as hell because they can't get past your drone. And 2, defenders tend to look in drone holes all the time, so if you leave it in there, it's probably going to get destroyed at some point if you're playing against higher level teammates. I do apologise, my voice sounds really weird this video. I am so unbelievably sick and I'm really trying to get this video done. Okay, so the second tip on how to up your game in Siege is to learn callouts. And again, I don't mean for the specific reason that calling out targets and places to teams is useful. Yes, 100% knowing callouts is useful because you can very quickly notify your teammates of where people are, and that is obviously very useful for them, and it allows teammates to share intel very easily. But the biggest reason, personally, I think, for learning callouts is that if you want to get to the higher ranks, which I assume you do because you're watching this video, then you're going to need to learn callouts and communication, because people in the higher ranks, like plat and above, most likely do know the callouts quite well. And if they're calling out places like red stairs or red dropper and things like that, and you don't know what that means, it's going to mean nothing to you, and you're not going to have any intel. The whole team is going to be sharing all this intel and aware of what's going on, and you're going to be the odd person now who's not aware of what's going on, and you're going to obviously not get as many kills and get yourself killed more often because you won't know what's going on around the map. Trust me when I say that if you get close to Diamond, which I hope one day all of you guys do, then you're going to need to learn the callouts because people will know them and people do communicate a lot. And as well as that, you don't want to get absolutely destroyed by the players in terms of just verbal abuse, because if you don't know the basic callouts and you're quite high in the rank, you may be a good player, but if you don't know the callouts, people will rip into you and you really, there's nothing worse than playing a game of Siege and having people like getting arsey with you. So to summarize, learning the callouts is useful. It allows you to communicate with your team, allows you to call out targets quickly and efficiently, and it allows you to understand what all your teammates are saying and where the enemies are without having to use your drones and to spot and all of that. So overall, extremely useful and will definitely be needed if you're going to get higher in the ranks and move up, especially when you're getting close to Diamond. Tip number 3 is something that I don't think I've ever said before in a video, and that is to try and stay calm. One of the big enjoyments of Siege is how intense the game is and how it can really get your heart pumping if you're the last person that comes down to a clutch. And if you pull off a clutch, oh my god, is it an amazing feeling. And that is a very big part in why Siege is such an enjoyable game. However, trust me, I've been there before when you're really like nervous or shaking because you want to get that clutch. You're like on the last round, you're the last person left. And if you're nervous and maybe like even sometimes if you're like that into it, your hand can get a little bit shaky. You're going to start missing shots, you're going to panic, things will panic you. Every little noise will start to panic you because you really want to get that last win. If you just take a minute, like calm down a bit, it will make your shots 10 times more accurate. And it is something that sounds really weird when you're making it into a video, especially because you're talking about a game and it's like, oh, calm down, don't be panicking. But it makes sense when you're in the situation. So right now it may not mean a lot to you, but next time you're in that situation where it falls down to you to try and win a round or potentially a game, just think about this point and just take a minute to calm down and don't panic too much, because if you panic, I guarantee you that you will significantly lower your chances of getting that final kill or clutch. And if you're panicking, you will start jumping around. I've even seen people team kill when they're panicking, when it's like a 2v2 and they freak out and a teammate runs in and they shoot them in the head straight away because they're freaking out. And it just, all these crazy things happen when you're worried and panicking because you really want to win. Maybe you're that close to getting the next rank that you want. It doesn't matter, just think of this point if you're ever in one of those situations, and I guarantee you it will help you. Tip number 4 is turn your sound up. Sound is so important beyond just hearing footsteps. If your sound is low, you're going to miss so many important things. For instance, if you're defending and you have your sound turned up, you're going to easily hear if someone is planting a fuse charge, a breaching charge, or more importantly, a thermite charge if you're playing Bandit. If you have your sound turned right down as well, you're going to get killed by fuse so unbelievably easy if you're defending, and it's just a bullshit way to die, because if you have your sound up, you can hear so easily when they're planting the fuse charge because it's a really loud echoey sound and it's just very important. And if you can, try and buy a good pair of headphones. I've seen a few people on YouTube that play with like Apple headphones in, which really isn't advised. Like, I wouldn't suggest playing with Apple headphones or any kind of phone headphone if possible. I am aware that in some situations you might not be able to, but if possible, do invest in a pair of headphones. Even like a cheap pair of Turtle Beaches are fine. The same for attacking. Having your volume cranked up is going to allow you to hear roamers easier, and you do not want to get caught off guard by roamers. It's so annoying having someone come up behind you. So having the sound turned up allows you to hear that a lot better, and it can also allow you to hear what's going on with like Capcan traps if someone's placing those, barbed wire, and most importantly nitro cells, because you can get so many BS kills. I say that in quotation marks because some people will think it's BS, some people think it's not, but you can get killed by nitro cells from above or below by simply sticking the nitro cell to the floor above below where you're standing. And if your volume's cranked down, you're not going to hear the beeping or the sound of the Velcro, and if you can hear those things, you can easily dodge it and move out of the way. But if the sound's low, you're not going to hear them and you're going to get killed in some really annoying ways where you think there's something you could have done, but in reality all it took was turning up your volume. Okay, so my final point is something that I wasn't sure whether to make an honourable mention or to actually put in the video. But I decided to put it in anyway, even though it's not specifically a tip. It's something that I think a lot of people should really think about when it comes to Siege. Now, everyone wants to get into the higher ranks, okay? It's like, it's a thing, everyone wants to get to Diamond, to Plat, to get those cool charms, and that's why you're probably watching this video, because you want to get up in ranks. And while all these tips will help you as much as possible, and that's the idea of them, the biggest thing I would say in terms of Siege is to not stress too much about going up in ranks, and just to think about what rank you're in right now. Besides obviously having fancy emblems and charms, ranks are based on your skill. It's there as a matchmaking system more than it is for bragging rights. If you're in gold, it's because your skill level is matched up with other people in gold, and obviously one day you will get out of gold, you will improve, but sometimes it just takes time more than anything that I can tell you in a video. All these tips will help you, but it will take time to implement some of the things I mentioned to improve your overall skill. So if you're stuck in gold and you're really getting angry and you want to get into plat so bad, don't worry about it too much, okay, because right now that means that your skill level is equal to a gold. I would say I'm not a diamond player, okay, I'm a plat player. I spend most of my time in plat. I would love to be in diamond all the time. I've been in diamond a few times and I wish I could always stay in diamond, but right now I appreciate that my skill level seems to be plat. That's where I get stuck at the end of most seasons, barring last season. Last season was appalling, we don't talk about that, but generally I get stuck in plat, and that is clearly where I'm at on a skill level right now. Obviously there are many other factors like teammates, bad teammates, good teammates, good opponents, bad opponents, all these things, but mostly it comes down to where your skill is at a particular point. If you are really struggling to get into plat, you may not want to be in plat just yet, because when you get into plat, you're going to find that the competition goes up a notch, and it's going to be really difficult for you to get good plays, get kills, get aces, get clutches, get any of those things. And Siege can become really boring if you're playing against people that keep killing you. Like any game, you don't want to be dead all the time. So don't stress too much about getting into the higher ranks, just enjoy where you are right now, because it allows you to be playing on a fair, even playing field instead of playing against people that are higher than you. So, you know, you may get some good teams and you may get straight up to plat with a really good team, but if you're not meant to be there just yet, it will become apparent very quickly. And I know it can be stressful, and I know it sucks because everyone wants to get to the highest rank. But trust me, if you're stuck somewhere like I am with plat, then it's for a reason. It means that that is what your skill level is at currently, and it's going to take time to improve beyond that. And my videos will hopefully help you, but it's not going to be an instantaneous thing. Anyway guys, that was all for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I tried to make the points it's difficult to make unique points because most things have been said in guides on YouTube. Hell, I've said most things there are when it comes to tips because I've made so many guides, which is why I'm going to be doing the guides less frequently, because I don't want to just start saying shit for the sake of it. But I've tried to make the reasoning behind each point a bit more different and unique, so I really hope you guys did enjoy that and you learned something from it, or maybe picked up a few tips. If you guys did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you smack the like button. It really allows me to gauge what you guys do and don't like. And if you do enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, because I try to make as much awesome Siege content as physically possible. I hope you guys do all have an amazing rest of your week. I know it sucks it's Monday, but hopefully you guys do have a good week, and I will see you in the next one.